mean, in relation to the construction industry in the UK and the main trends that we're seeing for our client base, certainly the challenges that have occurred following COVID and the sort of perfect storm that that's created alongside Brexit, alongside the energy crisis with the inflation that's caused. Here in the UK, which is probably specific to the UK, we have the building safety cladding crisis ongoing really following Grenfell and the tragedy there. So I think these are all creating various pressures on the construction industry in the UK. So that certainly would be one of the trends that we're seeing. And clients, construction companies having to navigate through those issues, some with more success than others. We've seen a rise in construction insolvencies. I think actually the construction sector is the majority of the insolvencies we've seen in this country, in the UK, have been in the construction sector. So by far the highest percentage of insolvencies have been in the construction sector. And from our own first-hand experience of advising clients on sort of current issues, it's around difficulties achieving payment on their projects, payments being stalled as they filter down the supply chains. So a really, I think this is probably not only the UK, it's certainly our clients overseas are finding similar issues in relation to resource shortages, skills shortages. That's been a trend for a while, but I think it's been exacerbated for the UK by Brexit. And a real sort of shortage in finding labour. I think in terms of trends that we're likely to see as the year progresses and into the following year. On the building safety side, I think there's more to come here in the UK. We have the public inquiry report being issued. We're anticipating sort of autumn this year. We've already had legislation post-Grenfell. We've had new duty holders created, the building safety regulator. I think there's more to come. People will be waiting to see what that report says and the recommendations that come out of the inquiry, the long-running inquiry. So that's certainly one trend. Another is climate change and the emphasis we're seeing within clients on their aspirations for achievement of net zero, and that now translating into the contractual documentation we're seeing around projects. So climate initiatives, climate change or targets being written into contracts, penalties for non-achievement of targets, and that's a new issue. So we have the NEC form of contract here in the UK and increasingly overseas as well, which now has a whole option devoted to climate drafting, and we're seeing that in bespoke contracts as well. So that's probably another trend. I mean, the sector is so important to society, and it's rallied through many challenges in the past, and it's showing sort of steady sort of maintaining its growth from last year in the UK, according to statistics. We've got a number of exciting projects happening this year. We've got the Houses of Parliament regeneration. We've got HS2. We have the new homes programs, the new hospitals programs. So there's a lot to be optimistic about in terms of the pipeline, and we're hearing that from friends overseas in Canada, huge amounts of infrastructure spend and spend on energy, Saudi Arabia. So there are pockets of really good construction activities, which is keeping our clients busy. And then on the innovation side of the whole emphasis on sustainability being led by construction, strong construction contenders, and they being at the forefront of making changes.